Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are back with another pattern that I've chosen. This was pattern 113245. Right out the gate, I gotta say this is intermediate. Absolutely. I thought it was going to be fairly beginner friendly because there's very few left rights or right lefts, right? It's mostly just things going in straight rows, but then kind of skipping which direction goes here and there. That's mostly what it is. But I found that I spent my entire time checking against the pattern to see what I was doing, working on it. It was a challenge. It was a challenge. That it doesn't just make a little diamond somewhere. There is no place where I felt that there was some decent segment knotting going on, like where you work on one area and concentrate like all at one spot to help kind of move things along. No, it was a lot of what just felt like hit or miss. It was putting colors where they needed to be and a struggle most of the time. That said, it's very good looking. It is a very, very nice looking bracelet. And because we did the pattern out entirely for the bracelet, having it centered is phenomenal. It absolutely makes this bracelet just fantastic. Honestly, it's why I teach what I teach. When if you were to look at this like over on friendshipbracelets.net and you're looking at it, the inherent way to start it would be off of where the red comes out in a diamond, and that would be cool, except you would end in this sort of a partial where the pattern's just starting, or you'd have to make the bracelet extraordinarily long just to get it to come back to that same spot. So that's where doing what I do comes into play. I work out how long a bracelet is, overall. I think it's, if you count straight up and down, I think it's like 21 knots to the center, and then obviously another 21 to the end of it. I roughly, but that's using the thread that I have. If you're using DMC, you might actually have to bump that up to maybe 23, 24, give or take. Just this thread that I have is thicker. It just ends up covering more space. It's not saying that it's better than DMC, it's just different. And I like it better. That's, a thing, but I can't definitively say that one is greater than the other. Well, I can tell you I have been let down by DMC in the past. The last couple times that I did buy any of it, the strings, as you unravel it, there would be tied in a knot, like putting two pieces together inside of the skein. And for me, that ends up with a segment that I can't use. Now, the string that I get, I very, very seldomly get that. I go through maybe 100 skeins before I get one that has that. So, playing by the odds, it just seems to me like the string that I'm getting does what I need it to do without the headaches. So there you go. Wow, talk about like a side tangent there. I'm not trying to throw DMC under the bus, but I have to say I have not been impressed the last few times I bought some. So, and that could be maybe somebody knew that those were bad ones, and they I don't know. I don't know how you would do that, but yeah, I was really disappointed. So this pattern, it's cute. There's a lot going on with the lighter colors and stuff, and I kind of stuck with the colors kind of like the pattern had it, just for the sake of doing it. I just thought it'd be fun. And it's nice. It's really, really pretty. I think whoever gets this bracelet is going to really like it. It's cute. Oh, the white and red were used up a lot more than the orange and yellow. I think coming into this, I probably would have guessed that. But yeah, I was really kind of surprised at the very end, like how much of a difference there really was. So yeah, if you cut it close with your strings, make sure you leave room with the white and the red because they did use a lot. I cut my string into thirds of a skein, right? So it's pretty long, so I can be assured that I don't have a problem. Had I gone quarter length with the red and the white, I might have actually ran into trouble there. The strings were getting kind of short by the end of it. So just kind of a heads up, you know, just in case you are one of those few that like to cut them short like that. I still, again, I don't see the point unless you're getting the strings on one of those great big balls. Yeah, then you don't want to necessarily overdo it because whatever's left over, you can stretch into more projects. So, but if you're just buying it in the skeins like I do, having a little bit left over at the end, what are you going to use that for? It doesn't, you didn't save anything. You're, I don't know. It is what it is. Where are we? Oh, we are like, gotta be hitting towards the halfway point. Let me thank my YouTube members who make this possible. Go through a lot of string. We just redid up the whole office here. Have you guys even noticed? It looks kind of fun. It's amazing what you can do with a bit of paint. And yeah, it's kind of neat. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with the office here, where there's gonna be some subtle changes and maybe some less than subtle changes, but it should be fun. Kind of looking forward to seeing what we can do. Trying to think if there's anything else really. Well, like I said, it's a lot of like left or right knots. Like there are very few where it changes directions, and it does a good job of like the red just went straight off the edge. You know, there was no get to the edge and bounce back, and just a lot of it did work together pretty nicely. Despite the fact that there was no coherent way of putting it together and making it seem like it was going fast. I don't know how else to explain that, but I kept trying to make it make sense, to find a good way of segmenting out an area and whatever. But what I found really worked for me was to kind of concentrate on parts of the pattern that I could see on my computer and kind of try to make an area be completed before kind of shifting up to anything else. Like here, I kind of shifted off everything I needed to be able to bring this red row down the furthest. Yeah, I could have like continued working on the right hand side, but balancing it out kind of almost made more sense because I kind of already could see what had happened on the right. So working that out on the left made it just a little bit easier. I'm not going to say I like cracked the code and this is the definitive way this time. This is not. This was just a systematic thing that was working for me and got me through it without any mistakes. And that's something. Oh, and it took about an hour and 5 minutes, maybe just slightly over that, which again, for a 12 string bracelet, typically an hour, it did take a little bit longer. And I blame that on having to like keep looking at the pattern every time I would like pick up a string, like, okay, how far do I have to go? Yeah, oh, this goes all the way down to the orange and then changes directions. Okay, then this one comes with the yellow going over top of the red, and making sure like I'm not making mistakes. That was a constant, like seriously making sure that the string was going over things as it was on the pattern. because I really was. I was afraid that this would get mixed up a bit. It didn't, but I was still fearful nonetheless. But yeah, intermediate. It's not the most difficult bracelet. It was, like, for me, the advanced ones require you have to tick off areas as you finish it. They're so complicated that you're unsure of yourself most of the time. This was nothing like that. This is possibly made easier because there are 4 different colors, so you could see this, a white one comes down and then changes when it gets to the orange, or changes when it gets to the yellow, or whatever it was. Those elements do make it easier. It's sometimes the 2 and 3 color bracelets that you will find to be the most difficult. Did a couple bags like that a while back, and yeah, you really have to cross off every area as you do it. So that's why, again, I'm going to chuck this in as an intermediate. Yeah, it's definitely not beginner friendly. It's definitely not beginner challengeful. Maybe if you're a beginner and you're really kind of feeling like you're getting advanced. Again, there's not a lot of zigzag knots. It's just a pattern that it would be real easy to have something go the wrong direction and make a mistake with it. So just kind of a fair warning for you in case you're feeling like you might want to try. I think this is like the 3rd segment. So then there's just a little bit that comes after this. Yeah, the red comes all the way in, and then there's just a little bit left. So yeah, we are getting towards the end of this make. So let me just say thank you right now for having watched through the video. The big reveal will be up here in a second, and yeah, watching the whole video actually does good things for the channel. So if you're here still watching it, seriously, thank you very, very much. Oh, and if you haven't already, hit the like button. That too helps the videos as well. Gets more people to see them, because YouTube will think, oh, it's a nice video he has. People like it. It does good things. So thank you. And again, thank you to my members who make this stuff possible. I really do enjoy what I make here. So thank you guys so much for that. All right, this kind of ends it here. Big reveal. Thanks again. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.